Welcome back to this continuing coverage of Punjab election results. More or less, the results have been firmed up. Aam Aadmi Party, it's a clear sweep by the party in 2022 elections. In fact, as we speak, over 90 seats, that's where they're leading, or many of them, they have 165 seats they won. They're leading on 27 other seats. So clearly, it's been a one-sided elections. The exit polls had indicated that Aam Aadmi Party is going to win these elections, but only one exit poll agency had perhaps indicated that they will get somewhere around 100, and it seems that's precisely what they will end up with. Congress completely decimated. They will end up at somewhere around 18 seats. Akali Dal even worse. They are leading on just 6 seats. The BJP yet again just 2 seats. So clearly, it's been a wave in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party. Mr. Bhagwant Mann, their chief ministerial candidate, just a while back spoke to the media. He said that the party aims to bring about change in Punjab within a month, and in fact, he is going to hold. He has given certain set of instructions which he says will be implemented, and Punjab will progress on the road, will move towards progress and development. I'm joined again by my colleagues from Punjab Bureau, Rajmeet Singh and Jupinderjit Singh. Jupinder, to you first. Can you give an overall idea about the latest figures? Can you split it down between Malwa, Dwaba, and Maja?
Yeah, as you said, that Aam Aadmi Party has emerged as the most major player. In fact, it is the catch-all party, if we can use that phrase,
Right.
because all votes seems to be attracted towards this party. It has this magnetism, and we have also seen that the fault lines of religion, the caste community, the Dalit cards, the Jat cards, all these cards have totally failed. At the same time, the Dera factor and the village factionalism, which was so prominent in Punjab elections,
Right.
that has also been completely shattered. Talking about the regions, it was like AAP has done so good in Malwa, which was their main den, and they're leading at 62 seats out of the 69. And in Dwaba, it is neck to neck, which has a strong Dalit vote. So maybe there was some concentration of Dalit votes.
Right.
So we have seen counter polarization also. So here, Aam Aadmi Party has got 10 seats against 9 to Congress. And in the Maja region, the Aam Aadmi Party has got about 13 seats.
So there's complete domination in Malwa region. Last time, Jupinder, what was the number of seats Aam Aadmi Party had managed in Malwa? I think
I think they were about 17 or 18.
18. So it's completely the domination has been in the Malwa region. And any reasons, the factors, what played out insofar as them recording this performance is concerned?
Well, there was definitely a vote for change. This is a decisive change.
Right.
And Malwa is a region where so many leftist movements have begun. And the left votes have been transferring to Aam Aadmi Party. It seems that the mobilization of the masses during the farmers' movement, that has also turned in favor of Aam Aadmi Party and weaned away from the farmers.
Right.
Because the farmer outfits have not opened their account.
Right.
This region is known to be the birthplace of various movements, whether it was Prajamandal movement before the independence, or later on, which is known as the soft Naxalite movement in Punjab,
Right.
or the literature or other stuffs.
Right.
So this region has suffered a lot. Also, it has not been rewarded with bounty, land, and rivers, and very good underground water.
Right.
So there was a general discontent among the masses.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that all has, because Aam Aadmi Party this time, they did not made some lofty promises.
Right.
Not that we will create 25 lakh post jobs or something.
Right.
They were rooted to the ground. They talked about education and health, and they were very clear that Bhagwant Mann will be the CM, and definitely I think that factor has helped. On the basis of our ground survey, people were saying that we have seen Akalis and Congress much, and this time we are going to test AAP irrespective of what the party's policies or something are.
Also, insofar as their campaign is concerned, they perhaps steered away from falling into the trap laid by perhaps the other parties, like not responding to these allegations of Khalistan netting, those controversial videos which surface. They tried to steer clear of them and not falling
Yes.
into the trap, and instead focusing on the core issues. That really seemed to have mattered.
Yeah, definitely. Aam Aadmi Party played smart. They did not react very strongly
Right.
to the allegations of being pro Khalistan. I think the rejection of parole of Devinder Singh Pullar, who was in the custody of Delhi police, but is in in local jail over here, that was not allowed, and it gave a message that Aam Aadmi Party is not pro Khalistan.
Right.
I think at the same time, the credit goes to the voters also, because they were not swayed away by these games or gimmicks which were played successfully in 2017 election.
To you, Rajmeet. Now, if we talk about, we've been talking about the performance of the Aam Aadmi Party, the Congress Party coming down from 77 seats in 27 to somewhere around 18. Doesn't seem it will do more than that. They won 11-7. They are leading, so they will end up at 18, which is not even the 20 mark. What has been, you've been speaking to these Congress leaders. What is the kind of introspection that is happening, if at all is happening, and what are the kind of reasons or factors they are attributing this pathetic performance to?
Yeah, certainly there is resentment and anger among the Congress leaders. They list a few issues which are responsible for. First of all, changing of Captain Amrinder Singh at the
Hmm.
fag end of the tenure,
Right.
just 111 days, Chandigarh. Second thing is serious infighting among the leaders.
Hmm.
Sidhu not at same page with Channi and in other leaders.
Right.
And then Sunil Jakhad, the former PCC chief, raking up the issue of Hindu leadership being ignored.
Right.
So, they gave a message to the masses that everything is not okay in the party.
Mhm.
How will they lead the state?
Right.
So, the Congress has not been and mismanaged campaign.
Right.
There were several instances where against the official candidate, somebody was standing, like Channi's brother was standing, though he was not a party member.
Mhm.
And then Rana Gurji's son fighting from another seat.
Hmm.
So the complete disillusionment, voters, what I see is voters have seen through the state of affairs in the Congress. So
Right.
the mandate was, and moreover, they are the two traditional parties of Kali, they have rejected them outrightly.
And also, they think the thinking process behind for making Charanjit Channi as their chief minister candidate, they perhaps thought they will cash in on the 32% voters. In Doaba, where you have moved around, why haven't they really performed that well? Though I think that's one of the areas where they have at least decent numbers now
Yeah,
compared to what they've
around
gotten.
nine, they say. Yes,
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 so
yes, yes,
compared to Malwa.
yes.
But yet again, why was this performance not so good in Dalit dominated
If
areas?
you see the results of the three regions,
Right.
it is cutting across. The factors are same.
Right.
It's the Dalit factor has not mattered.
Right.
So there are seats where there Pargat Singh has won in Doaba.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are Fagoda. I think the candidate has won.
Right.
So I think it's a pan Punjab pattern.
Right.
To vote for change. These the caste, as you have earlier mentioned, that the caste factor, the narrative of the caste, the narrative of the Khalistani element has not played through.
Right.
It's very clear.
And do we expect some kind of a major shake-up now, given the fact that they've had a very poor performance? Is there going to be a shake-up, or the Congress is going to take this excuse that, see, it was a sweep, it was a wave in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party, it happens. They will stick to this combination of Sidhu as the PCC president and a Dalit leader like Charanjit Channi, which they perhaps try to play out nationally to encash on that. But is there going to be some kind of shake-up in the party?
First of all, the performance of Congress in the four states has been bad.
Right.
So the shake-up, I think, should happen from the top, first
Right.
of all. Second is, certainly some interesting things have happened. There is a group called Maja Brigade in Congress.
Right.
Maja leaders.
Trip Bajwa and all.
Interestingly, these three leaders have won, and
Hmm.
they have been the center stage of all the upheaval in the Congress. They were the forefront of removing Captain Amrinder Singh. They were the forefront of making him the party president in 2016.
Right.
Now they have won. Rest of all the top leaders have lost.
Okay.
So and Pratap Bajwa has also. I think now the fight to there would be, like I mentioned in the morning, resurgence in the Congress.
Right.
And electing the CLP leader, because now they're going to be the principal opposition party, as
Right.
it seems from the trend.
Mm-hmm.
And then about Sidhu.
Mm-hmm.
No, Ravneet Bittu recently was in Ludhiana a few minutes back. He commented, about Sidhu, that if you pick laughter challenge people as party president, this is going what to happen.
Right.
So this shows that no the pressure will be on Navjot Singh Sidhu. He will be answerable. What's next step he takes? It's all all eyes are on him.
That's interesting, Rajmeet. Navjot Singh Sidhu became the PCC president. He was not made the chief ministerial face. He was very unhappy with the party. But the upheaval that happened in the Congress party, he was one of the trigger points.
Yes.
And now, with this performance, where do you see he stands now? Do you think he'll continue to stick to the party? What options he's left with?
In I think July, when he was made June or July, he was made the party president. There were 70 MLAs with him.
Right.
That was said. People after that, what he did, the way he conducted himself, the way he dealt with the emerging situation in the Congress after Captain Amrinder Singh was dethroned, Channi was nominated as the chief minister candidate. His popularity within party has gone down regularly. So his acceptability in the party, I would say, rather he exposed himself
With what?
with type of how he dealt with the situation, how he dealt with his colleagues,
Right.
and people were MLAs were siding with Channi. They saw some hope through Channi, not with Sidhu.
Right.
Though it has not worked here also
Mhm.
because it's a pan Punjab issue.
Right.
But the popularity of Sidhu had drastically gone down.
Right. And also, maybe he had disassociated himself with those hardcore Congress leadership,
Yes.
particularly in Maja region, where I understand Bajwas and all, they just simply didn't want to campaign for him.
And moreover, many the ticket selection, many traditional congressmen have left Congress and joined AAP,
Right.
and I think some of them have won also.
Okay.
And there was total washed up campaign, and these are one of the key factors which is all summed up to
This performance of the party.
performance of
Jubinderjit, I'll come back to the Shiromani Akali Dal, the performance. Both the Badals have lost. Senior Badal, his son Sukhbir Badal. What does it mean for Sukhbir Badal? They were looking at, there was a generational shift from the senior Badal to junior Badal. They were hoping that they will perform well so that he becomes the final phase of the party and perhaps the chief minister or chief ministerial candidate. But that hasn't happened. It hasn't really worked. What went wrong with the Shiromani Akali Dal? Where did it go wrong?
Well, they are in utter shock because this is one of the most, it's a disgraceful result for them. Never ever in their 122 history they have touched this low. The worst drubbing was 15 seats in the last elections, and now it is just 3. And BJP on its own has got 2 seats,
Right.
so it's almost same. There will be a lot of introspection, but the way Punjabis have responded is that they have rejected Sukhbir Badal's brand of politics,
Right.
the corporate culture, the corporate strategies, and where he showcases the highways and plans tourism projects in lakes and in Beas River and other places, and he talks about opening gambling dens, the amphibious buses,
Right.
and all that. So people see these are all that as castles in the air.
Right.
So I think, like in Congress, so many cooks have spoiled the broth. So here it is only one person who will have to be answerable for this, and the downslide has started with him taking as presidentship. And some analysts said that his ambition for CM ship was the problem in the Congress. He has not let other leaders grow in the party. It is a shocker. Prakash Singh Badal has not lost from Lambi since 1997. He has won all the elections, 5 times CM, and it was considered that, of course, he's 94 years old and this would be his last elections, God forbidding. But to get such a drubbing on his kind farewell elections is going to pinch it very, very hard.
And interestingly, not a lot many bigwigs have bitten the dust. In fact, Sidhu, Vikram Majithia, and the Badals. So, was it a vote of anger? People were really angry at these leaders for making big and tall claims, and that's why you see this kind of an element of punishment being meted out by the voter. You see common people actually winning.
Yeah.
Sidhu Moosewala losing from
Yeah.
from Mansa with so many around 60,000 odd votes. So people wanted serious contenders to take over as MLAs. Perhaps that's the kind of message
Yeah,
they're sending.
that's a very, very important point. And Punjab did not have good experience with celebrity candidates.
Right.
You have seen Sunny Deol; he has not visited his constituency for last 2 years. Same was with Vinod Khanna.
Right.
He was also not very keen, and so Moosewala has lost by 63,000 votes.
Right.
Though there are about 10 seats where the victory margin is under 1,000. I think one of the lowest is 200 something votes. So that was bound to happen in the contest. But Punjabis have rejected these celebrities and politicians who were indulging in hyperbole.
Right.
As we have discussed earlier also, that all these politicians, especially Navjot Singh Sidhu, he was promising that he is all for Punjab, Punjabi and Punjabiyat, but he was fighting for posts and positions. He was even fighting who will be the DGP, who will be the legal head and all that. So people can see through all this, what you say, and you are saying something else, your actions are something else. And they expect that a person who is looking for CM post, he will at least have the ability to take people together, have some patience, have some kind of confidence among his colleagues, not just in voters. And Sidhu was, I think he was quite arrogant. The way he was addressing even media persons was not acceptable. Same is true for Sukhbir Singh Badal also. If you remember when he announced his alliance with the BSP, so he was only one sitting on a very big stage when they held this function in Taj Hotel here. Later on also Akali Dal just built their campaign only against Sukhbir Badal, and this is not the Akali Dal.
Right.
So it has been a Panthik party, and I think they have failed to safeguard interest of Sikhs, of farmers, which was their main vote bank.
Okay. Lastly, Rajmeet, talking about Captain Amrinder Singh, would you say this is absolute curtains on his political career, or is there something more left in him?
Certainly, I will. It's very important to point out. The anti-incumbency had a 4.5 year. The Congress also bears the one. He also bears the one, and coupled with the it's part of the tall. He's one of the tall leaders who has most probably. Yeah, it is the end of his. I think it's the end of his career.
But apart from being upset with this with this defeat, but he must be happy that at least he has achieved a decimation of the Congress. That's what.
Moreover, he had said that he would ensure that Sidhu loses. So and Congress is wiped out. So he's at least happy.
Okay. So right there you are. Interesting elections, interesting results. Aam Aadmi Party finally sweeping these polls as war had emerged during the exit polls. They're doing exceedingly well, over 90 seats so far. These are leadings as well as seats which have been declared. The Congress just 18 as of now. The BJP and the Akali Dal completely routed in these polls. Mr. Bhagwant Mann is expected to arrive in Chandigarh late tonight, and the swearing-in ceremony, those issues are being sorted out. But clearly, an astounding performance by the Aam Aadmi Party winning these elections. Remember, in 2017, despite exit poll predictions, the party had not really fared well. But this time, it seems the slogan that at least they should be given a chance once, that seems to have worked. Besides, as Jubinderjeet and Rajmeet mentioned, the kind of issues they stuck to, that seems to have worked to their advantage. We'll keep on providing you updates on these results. We'll analyze the trends, we'll analyze the data, the voting pattern, not just across the state, Malwa, Doaba and Maja, that we'll keep on discussing. We'll keep coming back. We'll also, our sister publication, Punjabi Tribune, they will be going live on the Facebook and provide you all the details. You can log on to our website, tribuneindia.com, and also join us on our other social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter. Meanwhile, thanks for watching. Thank you.